if I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
Yes.
Absolutely. I think it's extremely powerful. Some of the things that you said, my last question in this while we're here is going to deal with the movies now. One aspect is video games. This is movies, and I think for the first time in the theater, the technology that we can literally see Superman fly. Where the old days we knew he wasn't necessarily leaping over, but today we are able to do certain things that we were never able to do, and one of the things that I see that keeps reoccurring is these portals opening up in movies. What do you have to say to that? Or do you see at some of these conferences people saying, "Oh, we are waiting for such a time"? They're saying in the 23rd of September, we're supposed to be ushering the new era in, the age of
what?
Some of those things are supposed to be happening. The age of Aquarius, or going into a different area. I can't remember exactly, but it's supposed to happen this year.
At the conferences I've been at in Paganicon, likewise with Paganicon, they didn't talk about anything like that specifically. One thing that was mentioned at Paganicon was the importance of building temples across the U.S. and building temples specifically in the Midwest, and kind of having a network of temples. And as they will build their temples to their deities, those gods and goddesses will manifest at those temples. And so the temple space can become like a portal, or that kind of an idea. But there was no discussion of portals opening in September or anything like that. Interesting that you bring that up, though. I can't mention where, because I need to get permission from certain family members. All I'll do is tell you that a while ago I did a lecture. At the end of my lecture, I had a young lady come to me and explained her family situation, and she had lost a brother. Her older brother had passed away. Well, now he'll have passed about a year from now. And he passed away while climbing a mountain in British Columbia. He was looking for portals. He was looking for the portal into Argotha. And for the last number of years, he had been living this world view and living this world of Kundalini and opening his chakras. And he traveled all over the world seeking enlightenment and seeking a way into the inner world. And he went up in this mountain searching for the portal into Argotha. And he passed away due to the extreme cold and the other elements, the weather elements on the mountain. So when she was telling me that, I was just like blown away, because for her, after she heard my lecture, she came up to me and she says, "Now I know why my brother died. Now I know what drove him to die." And I'm like, "What?" And then she explained this story to me, and I'm like, wow. And I know quite a bit more of the details, but until I get permission from the family to actually talk about it in some detail, I really can't. But to me, it is what you guys are kind of talking about, from what Rory, I could get out of your question, the idea of portals and openings. Where did he get this from? He got it from his culture somewhere. He got it from his culture, whether it was, I'm not sure where, but he got it somewhere from the messages coming through society. He just didn't dream this up on his own.
Right. And interesting enough, this is what you find in the TV show and comic book Iron Fist, and also in Doctor Strange the movie.
Yes. Also, well, the quest in Star Wars, you see at the end of the last, I think it was, I can't remember the movie, but you're climbing the mountain to be enlightened at the end of the movie, and now you're going to the enlightened one to be taught.
Yes, yeah. Carl doesn't watch too many movies or TV shows, so. but I get what you're saying. One last movie, we talked about it a little early off air. The Avatar series is coming back out. Four new movies. being filmed back to back by James Cameron, and the scripts are ready and everything like that. And you, I think, would have a better understanding of what's being taught in that movie than a lot of people that I've spoken to. So, you want to speak on it for a little bit?
Sure. I can only speak, of course, to the very first movie. And you're right, I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't play a lot of video games. It's not that I'm against movies or against video games. I enjoy some of them. Yeah. Here's the irony, gentlemen. I use Second Life in virtual reality. I end up using that for a fair amount of research and just for some different exploring. But the movie Avatar was the quintessential movie for today. It was the movie, and of course it's a few years old, but it still resonates today. It is a transhumanist movie with the influx of the oneness worldview. You're connected mystically through nature, and not just connected through nature, you're connected through your technologies into nature. You transform yourself. You become. You're in the process of becoming. And it is really a movie that preaches from beginning to end. One thing with the class that I've taught, and I've taught this class now, I think it's my third year, I guess. I bring up the movie Avatar, and after we talk about it for a while, my students, their eyes are wide open. They're going, I never thought of that. I never thought of the fact that they were preaching me. James Cameron was preaching to me a worldview of transhumanism and oneness with everything, and a pagan mystical connection between me and nature, and that we are becoming more than being a human. We are becoming something bigger, something built in the image of ourselves, something out of our own minds and our own imaginations. And it really is a movie for this age of reenchantment. Of all the movies, Avatar really fits that concept of reenchantment. We are now magically in touch with nature through our technology, and we are becoming more than human.
National Geographic came out with their latest magazine, and on the cover, it has the ape, the Neanderthal, the human, and the transhuman. And it says, I think the cover says either the new human or a new human. What do you think about that?
I heard about this, and I saw it online too. I haven't seen the physical copy yet, but I just wonder why it took National Geographic so long to catch up with this theme, because this is the theme of Google, and this is the theme of our tech industry. This is the theme of this techno shamanism, this techno enlightenment, this technosis.
I like that word.
Yeah, that's the theme that's so prevalent now. And because it really is about we can create a new humanity through our science and technology. I honestly don't think that we can create a new humanity. I think we're going to end up doing damage to humanity rather than create a new humanity. I think in all of our hopes that we can do something enlightened and something progressive, that typically the historic end result of that is something that is not to our liking. In creating heaven on earth, we typically unleash hell upon ourselves.
I was just thinking that while you're talking, because usually when you see something that has to push so hard to get out of the norm, a lot of death is involved. Whether it's experimenting on kids or whatever, animals, there's just a lot of death involved. And I don't think that the people that are running towards this headlong, well, you know what, let me not say that. I think some of them realize that and are going for that. But the people in the average society that think this is a great thing don't realize the consequences they're going to have to pay if God lets us get that far.
Yes, and I have friends who are transhumanists. I have friends who, and I mean that, some of them are friends of mine. I've had some great discussions with some people within the transhumanist community, and I've maintained those contacts. And I've met some of the most well-meaning people in that movement. And we've had some we completely disagree. We completely disagree with each other in every respect when it comes to transhumanism. They genuinely believe that there is a component, a belief component. They genuinely believe that they will make mankind better. At the same time, there are even some within the transhumanist community that go, we might not find that at the end of the day we've made ourselves better. Maybe we've discovered that we are opening up Pandora's box for a whole new level of problems and challenges and the pursuit of good and evil.
Yes. So this has been a very interesting and the word enlightening conversation. Rory, you have any final questions before we? I'm going to have Carl give out his information.
Well, Carl, man, I got to tell you, this has been, you've answered quite a number of questions, and we haven't even really gone too deep. I would really love to sit and talk to you some more about some of these things, or what I find you're able to explain it so easily. Again, and I guess this is because of your experience. A lot of times I find that when I'm explain something to someone, it's a little difficult because maybe my scope is not as wide as yours, and I'm trying to learn that. The most, I think, important thing that we talked about tonight is the impact that all of this is on humanity, or the impact that but it's being done subliminally. And it's not until you took the light in the classroom and you said, guys, you said it took you 20 hours, and this was the entire class. At the end of the class, they're coming back together. And at that particular point, or some point during these lectures, that the light bulb went off, and they were saying, hey, wait a minute. I didn't realize that this has had an impact on my life. I didn't realize that this had an impact on my life. And they were able to pull from all these little things and piece them together to say, well, wow, these things are having an impact on my life, and I never knew it. What frightens me, it shows me that we're not in control of our destiny. That's what I'm saying.
So, Carl, thanks for coming on. Would you give the listeners information about yourself, how to find your work, and anything else you'd like to give out?
Yeah, sure. Number one, I'm working on a book right now called Game of Gods. And the subtitle is The Temple of Man in the Age of Reenchantment. You can look for it later on. Hopefully it'll be out in early fall. That's kind of what I'm aiming for at this point. We have a website. It's been down for a while. It's forcingchange.org. It still is down, but it'll be renewed as we get closer to launching the book. But you can find me through Facebook, and you can find me on Twitter as well. So you can definitely go to both of those social media platforms and look up either Forcing Change or my name, Carl Teichrib.
Thank you so much for joining us. And that is our show tonight. Rory?
Thank you so much for joining us and for just being able to share a lot of things going through my mind. Thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Rory and Chris, thank you both, gentlemen. You guys have a great evening.
All right, thanks. If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.